Tyson at 58, though,
No,
right?
no, he was much slower. But George was always kind of slow. He just has thunderous power. He was never like a real fast guy like Ali or any of those other guys. He was just, when they were in that ring.
I don't.
PR in a 58 right? No, he was much slower, but George was always kind of slow. He just has thunderous power. He was never like a real fast guy like Ali or any of those other guys. He was just when they were in that ring. I don't think Jake Paul trolled Mike Tyson after his recent health scare on a plane, promising to deal with him. This was enough to annoy many boxing professionals, especially Joe Rogan, who violently attacked him. You never know, it can happen. Jake Paul's favorite. He's a favorite, yeah, well, he's 27 years old, and he's a really good boxer. He's a very good boxer. Like Jake Paul made mockery of Mike Tyson's most recent health issue. And Joe Rogan isn't having a bit of his music antics. Well, it wasn't the best news for the fans of the baddest man on the planet. It was the kind of news naysayers like Oscar de la Hoya, Bernard Hopkins, and Dana White were waiting for to further push their agenda against the fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul on July 20th. While many of these boxing professionals have shunned the idea of such a ridiculous matchup that will see a 58-year-old man lock horns in the ring against a fighter who is 31 years younger, their motive isn't in any way hateful. Many of Mike Tyson's naysayers are actually those who have so much love and respect for him and are only scared of how devastating the consequences could be for the former undisputed world heavyweight champion. And with the latest news, it's expected that many more boxing professionals will share their opinions to prevent Iron Mike Tyson from fighting. Tyson returns to the ring on July 20th when he faces Paul in a pro fight that is scheduled to take place at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. We see this again. Jay, you never know, it can happen. Jake Paul's favorite. He's a favorite, yeah, well, he's 27 years old. And he's a really good boxer. He's a very good boxer, like he's a legitimate professional. It will be the 57-year-old's first appearance in a proud since 2005, when he lost to Ireland's Kevin McBride, who now lives a very different life. And ahead of meeting Paul in a pro contest, the boxing legend had an almighty scare on a flight from Miami to Los Angeles on Sunday. According to his representatives, Tyson became nauseous and dizzy due to an ulcer flare and received medical attention. But he is now doing great per his team. Thankfully, Mr. Tyson is doing great. The boxer's representative said he became nauseous and dizzy due to an ulcer flare-up 30 minutes before landing. He is appreciative of the medical staff that were there to help him. A source said Mike had some kind of medical emergency on the plane and paramedics boarded. Before the paramedics arrived, the flight issued an announcement asking for a doctor. The message even came on everyone's screen. In Touch Weekly did not know whether the former world heavyweight champion was removed from the flight, which had been delayed by 2 hours in Miami. He's a favorite, yeah, well, he's 27 years old. And he's a really good boxer. He's a very good boxer, like he's a legitimate professional boxer. He fought Tommy Fury, who's also a legitimate professional boxer, a real good one. His representatives, however, clarified that the delay was down to an air conditioning issue and not Tyson's medical incident. Before the plane landed in Los Angeles, passengers heard an announcement asking for medical professionals. Per the report, the reported medical scare stopped passengers leaving the plane for 25 minutes. He was in first class, but we were in an exit row, and the stewardess was very chatty. They asked us to stay on the plane and landed so paramedics could enter. A source revealed she said something like, he's a really important passenger, so we want to make sure he's okay. I knew it was him, but I just mouthed the words Mike Tyson, and she nodded her head yes. A few days removed from the medical incident, the 57-year-old claims to be feeling 100% and sent a warning to his upcoming opponent Southeast Gata on X. He wrote, "Now I'm feeling 100%. Even though I don't need to beat Jake Paul." The former world heavyweight champion has fought in a pro fight since June 2005, when he suffered the final defeat of his career. However, he returned to action back in November 2020 as he took on fellow great Roy Jones Jr. in an exhibition bout. Under the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation, the returning boxing icon will have to pass a series of pre-fight tests if he fails, and is forced to pull out. Then most valuable promotions have a former world champion on standby, while a boxing superstar has also thrown his name into the hat to face Paul, but fight fans have expressed their concerns for the boxing legend after footage of him on a treadmill has resurfaced amid his medical incidents. Footage shows Tyson struggling on a treadmill, albeit not a normal machine. People on social media made their feelings clear about his pro fight against Paul as they slammed the YouTuber turned boxer for facing the 57-year-old. One ex-user wrote, "He is an old man, and I hope he doesn't get hurt against Roy Jones. They were both old, but he's about to fight a young, strong man. Even if it is an exhibition, the punches still hit." A second pleaded, "Oh my goodness, please cancel the fight." A third added, "Please stop this fight. I don't want to see it anymore." A fourth wrote, "He's so done. Jake Paul should be ashamed." Named a fifth argued, "These aren't normal treadmills. I look just like Mike my first time on one of these. They are very different and difficult. If you don't train, you wouldn't know." Wants to fight Mike. "I think why I don't know. I don't give if he's 55. That's still Mike. Mike's in good shape too. Oh my God, Mike trains every day. He trains with AF Cordo, who's a legend in MMA. He runs Kingsum Mixed Martial. While he's been off the ring for almost 2 decades, he faced fellow great Roy Jones Jr. in an exhibition bout back in November 2020. The former world heavyweight champion looks to be in great shape, having documented his training camp, showing off his legendary power and hand speed. But fans are worried for when he returns to the ring. Jake Paul, who will welcome the boxing icon back to the ring this summer, initially issued an update on the status of their upcoming pro bout on X. He had initially written, "You love to make stuff up," before knowing the facts for clicks, likes. Nothing changed, however. On second thought, Jake Paul chose to be his usual problematic self and decided to troll Mike Tyson for his airplane incident. He posted in a now deleted tweet, claiming Mike Tyson wasn't even fit to sit in a plane. Talk more of standing in the ring with a problem child. A man who can't sit in the plane wants to stand in the ring with a problem child. Hell in a cell. In world-renowned trainer when you see him holding the MS for Tyson and Tyson smashing the MS like Jesus. That guy can still __. You up, dude? I'm talking. You make it still a 55 after admitting on several occasions how scared he was of Iron Mike Tyson. Jake Paul seemed to have gained some confidence in himself seeing Mike Tyson's mounting health challenges. It's however been confirmed that Mike Tyson would have to undergo and pass some necessary tests before he can be deemed fit for the fight. However, Joe Rogan doesn't seem to fancy any of Jake Paul's mind games, and he has now spoken on behalf of Iron Mike Tyson, claiming a bedridden Mike Tyson would kill Jake Paul on his anonymous podcast. The famous commentator said, "I saw Jake Paul, and I felt like that was dumb. We don't always talk about the fact that he only fought a good boxer once, and he lost. He seems to be finding it funny and prideful that he only fights against age boxers who are past their prime. I guess someone needs to tell him Mike Tyson completed boxing before his older brother was born. That's how big Mike Tyson is." Tyson a 58, though right no, he was much slower. But George was always kind of slow. He just has thunderous power. He was never like a real fast guy like Ali or any of those other guys. He was just when they were in that ring. I don't think we see this again. Joe, you never know, it can happen. Jack Paul's favor, he continued, "I feel it's quite stupid to mock someone with a health issue. Everyone could have that health issue. It's not related to his age. I'm sure he bounced back and finish off this last. And even if he isn't at his best, like he said, he doesn't need to be at his best to beat Jake Paul. I feel a bedridden Mike Tyson would kill him too." Shockingly, it turned out Joe Rogan wasn't showing any form of leniency with Jake Paul. After initially lauding his boxing abilities, Rogan had earlier questioned why people often underestimate Jake Paul and instead advised them to forget him as a YouTuber. and perceive him like they would perceive regular boxers. No, I mean people can take something away from them because they're YouTube people. I always tell people, just forget that Jake Paul is a YouTube guy and watch him box. Yeah, the kid can fight 100%. Rogan went ahead to highlight moments from Paul's fight against Tommy Fury as evidence of Paul's boxing ability. And that Tommy Fury fight really showed that. I mean, it goes to a split decision against a alleged undefeated boxer. Well, he had a big question to ask from Jake Paul as to why he chose to fight the monstrous Tyson. He spoke about Tyson's unbelievable magnificence in the boxing ring and believed he was still as potent. He approached the 31-year difference between the pair like it was nothing and boasted about Tyson's training intensity like a trainer would do to his train. Mike, I think, why no, I don't give a if he's 55, that's still Mike. Mike's in good shape too. Oh my God, Mick trains every day. He trains with AF Cordo, who's a legend in MMA. He runs Kingsa Mixed Martial Arts, and Hale is a no why I don't care. If he's 55, that's still my Mike Tyson. Mike's in good